Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Hare की जय गौरंग दयानेता भगवान की जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की गौरादेश धाम की संकीर्तन यज्ञ की गंगा माई की यमुना माई की भक्ति देव तुलसी महारानी सामवेद भक्तवृंद की all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Can I ask who is sitting in the back, can you hear me? We are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, devotional service. In that chapter, verse number 12. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasaj. Shall I read first and you can. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasaj. Jnanad jnanam viseshyate. Jnanad jnanam viseshyate. Dhyanat karma phalatyagas. Dhyanat karma phalatyagas. Tyagas shantir anantaram. Tyagas shantir anantaram. Shreyo hi jnana abhyasaj. Jnanad jnanam viseshyate. Dhyanat karma phalatyagas. Tyagat shantir anantaram. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasaj. Jnanad jnanam viseshyate. Dhyanat karma phalatyagas. Tyagas shantir anantaram. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasaj. Jnanad jnanam viseshyate. Dhyanat karma phalatyagas. Tyagas shantir anantaram. Someone from Prabhu's.
Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasaj.
Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasaj.
Jnana dhyanam viseshyate.
Jnanad jnanam viseshyate.
Dhyanat kama parma phala tyagas.
Dhyanat karma phalatyagas.
Tyagat shantir anantaram.
Tyagat shantir anantaram. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasaj. Jnanad jnanam viseshyate. Dhyanat karma phalatyagas. Tyagat shantir anantaram. Someone from ladies?
Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasaj.
Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasaj.
Jnanad Jnanam Vishishyate.
Jnanam Vishishyate.
Jnanat Karma Phalatyagas.
Jnanat Karma Phalatyagas.
Yagachantiranantaram.
Yagachantiranantaram.
Shreyo hi Jnanam Abhyasat.
Shreyo hi Jnanam Abhyasat.
Jnanathyanam Vishishyate.
Jnanathyanam Vishishyate.
Jnanat Karma Phalatyagas.
Jnanat Karma Phalatyagas.
Yagachantiranantaram.
Yagachantiranantaram.
Shreyo hi Jnanam Abhyasat.
Shreyo hi Jnanam Abhyasat.
Jnanat Vishishyate.
Jnanat Vishishyate.
Jnanat Karma Phalatyagas.
Jnanat Karma Phalatyagas.
Yagachantiranantaram.
Yagachantiranantaram.
Shreyo, better. He, certainly. Gnanam, knowledge. Abhyasat, than practice. Dhyana, than knowledge. Dhyanam, meditation. Visishyate is considered better. Dhyana, than meditation. Karma phalatyaga, renunciation of the results of fruitive action. Tyaga, by such renunciation. Shanti, peace. Anantaram, thereafter. Reading the translation and purport given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation. And better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation one can attain peace of mind. Purport. As mentioned in the previous verses, there are two kinds of devotional service. The way of regulative principles and the way of full attachment in love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For those who are actually not able to follow the principles of Krishna consciousness, it is better to cultivate knowledge, because by knowledge one can be able to understand his real position. Gradually, knowledge will develop to the point of meditation. By meditation, one can be able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by a gradual process. There are processes which make one understand that one himself is supreme, and that sort of meditation is preferred if one is unable to engage in devotional service. If one is not able to meditate in such a way, then there are prescribed duties as enjoined in the Vedic literature for the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, which we shall find in the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita. But in all cases, one should give up the results or fruits of labor. This means to employ the result of karma for some good cause. In summary, to reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the highest goal, there are two processes. One process is by gradual development, and the other process is direct. Devotional service is in Krishna consciousness is the direct method, and the other method involves renouncing the fruits of one's activities. Then one can come to the stage of knowledge, then to the stage of meditation, then to the stage of understanding the Super Soul, and then to the stage of Supreme Personality of Godhead. One may take either the step-by-step process or the direct path. The direct process is not possible for everyone, therefore the indirect process is also good. It is, however, to be understood that the indirect process is not recommended for Arjuna, because he is already at the stage of loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord. It is for others who are not at this stage. For them, the gradual process of renunciation, knowledge, meditation, and realization of the super soul and the Brahman should be followed. But as far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, it is the direct method that is stressed. Everyone is advised to take to the direct method and surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kathamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalan Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Anvitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Is there someone who has come for the first time here to this temple? Very warm welcome. So I request you keep coming. You'll have a great time. And sorry?
Maybe some books also.
Yes. If you once again raise your hands, who has come for the first time? We would like to just give a small book as a token of gratitude that you have come here. English speaking. So, I'm reading the translation once again. It's been a long purport. So, translation is: if you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. So, in the translation, there is this first line which is saying, if you cannot take to this practice. Let's see what Krishna said initially, and can we really take to that practice already? Then we don't need this verse. Krishna is telling in the previous verses, I'll just read from 4 verses before. Mai asakta Sri Bhagavan Vacha Mai aveshya mano ema nitya yukta upasate that is the topmost. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their mind on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Can you tell who is most perfect here in this, according to Krishna's definition? Can raise your hands? Yes.
I think when you are 24 hours a day, your mind is only on Shri Krishna. The person at the flute.
Yes.
Center.
Thank you. So, let's see if we are not in this list, in which list are we? Going to the next verse. But those who are fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of others at last achieve me. Here it is mentioned that we need to have complete control of our senses and also be very, very generous and very friendly to everyone. They can at last achieve the Lord. The next category. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. So when we have challenges to control our senses, to engage our senses 24/7, 24 hours to the Lord, then meditating on the universal, unmanifested form of the Lord is another option, but it's very difficult. But those who cannot come in this category, then Krishna is saying, okay, there is also next option. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. The next category. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me. The next category. If you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Something coming to our levels slowly. Who can fix mind upon Krishna? It's very difficult. It's very difficult because mind.
Guru.
Right?
Guru can
Yes.
connect it.
So Guru can fix his mind. Very nice. But for us, we cannot fix mind like great saintly persons. So for us, what is recommended is to follow regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. May I ask someone, tell what are the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga? A few. Shravanam Kirtanam. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. What are the four? Yes. Take only Krishna Prasada. Krishna Bhajan. One is saying Krishna Bhojan, one is saying Krishna Bhajan. Both are same. Yes. Hare Krishna now. Which is focusing our mind on chanting. But we have a challenge, we cannot focus our mind on our chanting. My rounds are very bad. I don't want to tell. So Krishna is saying, okay, there is other. If one is not at that high level, we don't have to act that we are at high level. Because Krishna is saying, if you take to the other process, you can still come to me, to the next level. Where Krishna is saying, follow the regulative principles. And Srila Prabhupada said that wonderfully. What are these four regulative principles?
Only chanting.
Only chatting.
No, chanting. Chanting.
Yeah, I mean, in 2022 we have chatting also, right? Because a lot of chatting goes. Sorry, I mean, I heard you chanting properly, but.
By four regulative principles, you mean where Kali recites, like, is that what you're asking? Or?
You can tell what you understand. What are the four regulative principles? Yes. What are the four regulative principles in ISKCON?
I mean, illicit sex and
Okay.
Doing drugs.
Doing drugs? You should be other side of the border. Holland is your favorite. Sorry.
Not doing drugs.
Okay. We are just starting the class and we have not much time, so I'll speed up. No meat eating? Yes?
No egg.
No eggs also? Okay. No gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. No fish. Yes. In Germany we have to be very precise. Otherwise we don't know what comes on the plate. Sorry. So, and how difficult it is to follow the four regulative principles? For me it's very difficult. Can someone, I find in the same group or already others are advanced?
Nobody will admit.
Sorry?
Nobody will admit. Nobody will admit.
Nobody will admit. Okay. But at least struggle is there. So then Krishna is saying, okay, it's very difficult to follow the four regulative principles. Maybe 1 day, 2 days, 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 15 years. And then we start seeing the burden of regulative principle is becoming bigger and bigger. Because we are not enjoying the blessings so much. Because Krishna is blessing, but we think these are not blessings. Because I think that this is how the blessing should look like. That everything happens on its own. That I become a devotee, first class devotee, without I do anything. So then Krishna is saying, next verse. He is saying, if you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to follow all these regulations. Very difficult. I want to be myself. I don't want to change. I like how I am. And Krishna is saying, just like how you are, it's okay, I can accept. Just work for me. Because people are so busy that we want to work, we want to earn money, we want to fulfill our wonderful dreams. In this business, it's very difficult to follow regulative principles. We want to just find a way that I can compromise for some days, 2 days, 3 days, 1 year. Let me take a break. Then Krishna is saying, okay, if you want to go so far, don't worry. At least start working for me. Which means we all work. And if we are not able to come and regulate our life and practice devotional service, Krishna is saying, at least if you are earning money, give that money to the temples. The question will come, what will I benefit? Vishwakumar Prabhu, what will I get? If I am working, I am earning the money, and if I am giving to temple is becoming rich. Temple has so much money. Temples are rich, you see, so nice paintings. I think temple is becoming very rich. What am I getting? Krishna is saying that if you work for me, then also I will bless you. So by spending, by donating, by taking care of temple, so many spiritual centers of saintly people, we are benefiting. If you cannot practice the regulation of Bhakti Yoga, then try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. So there is a hope for people who are working outside. Not full-time devotees like Rishi Kumar Prabhu. And hope for people like us that even if we are outside, when we are working, we earn something, and with our heart, we give to Krishna, we give to the temples, because that's what is actually my class will start from then. I'm just going to come to that point. However, if you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all the results of your work and try to be self-situated. So if I feel like, I don't know, if I give money to the temple will take care? I don't know. I'm still doubtful. I have no trust. Morning, Monday to Friday, I am working hard and then I am getting the money. I should enjoy it. If I enjoy, then I am having happiness. But Krishna is saying, don't think that you are the doer, because even if you are earning money, it is because of me. Because of me, because I gave you this job. Of course, it's a little philosophical. We can go. In Germany, it's more difficult to convince, because simple people can understand simple formulas. So when we say that, okay, no, I am working, and if I don't enjoy, what is the whole purpose of working? So Krishna is saying, please realize that at least don't take the fruit of it. Why? Because there is no harm for me, but if you take the fruit, it is you who are suffering. So Krishna is so merciful. Even here he is saying that for your own welfare, don't save money for yourself. Don't accumulate wealth. Don't arrange big comforts. Why? Because you may get carried away in thinking that, hey, now you know I am president, I am the director, I am the head, and all this creates us the bondage. So at least think that all this is because of you, Lord. I am earning everything because you gave me the facilities. And be satisfied, self-situated. Now we come to the verse 12. If we can't even do that, what to do? Hopeless. There is hope because Krishna is saying here, if you cannot take this practice of not entangle yourself in these results, then engage yourself in cultivating knowledge. And I'll spend some time to discuss about the value of the knowledge. I mean, not about the knowledge because it's ananta, it's unlimited. There is no limit for learning. But there are basically two kinds of knowledge. One is material knowledge and one is spiritual knowledge. The material knowledge is telling how to live in this world. But the spiritual knowledge is telling how to live from this world. Yeah, maybe I can repeat again. This material knowledge, what is this material knowledge? Telling about how is electricity, what is magnetism, what is commerce. So many subjects, so many universities are making a lot of money just to help us to get very sophisticated, comfortable life. But what knowledge is actually useful is how to live this world successfully. The usual example given is if I earn some money and I put it in a company who is running a business, and if I know that this company will shut down after 1 year, will I really invest? And if I really invest, what will people call me? Some answers? What will the people call me? Lazy? Crazy. Crazy is really positive. No.
Failure.
Failure. Huh? What will people call me? Uneducated. Unsuccessful.
A fool.
A fool. That is the best. You're calling me the fool. Rascal is even better. Who was saying that? See, that's even perfect. Perfect knowledge. Dumb. Yeah, fool, dumb, mad, crazy. Why? Because I know it won't work. I know that my money will be gone. But still I am hoping, because I don't have any option. If I know there is other company which makes money, then I will put money in that company, isn't it? Then I am little educated and little intelligent and I don't see that there is any other company. I think, let me put money for today, let's see afterwards. Because humans are very intelligent. We don't want to lose, but we also want to gain. Always, what will I get? How to make more money, more money. That's why we read a lot of higher education. Higher and higher and higher. The more higher the people go, in education at least, they struggle to get a job. Yeah, we see that some people who made very nice doctorates and PhDs, they say, hey, you're very lucky you start working in early age and you're earning more than what we get, because there is no hope what we will discover is going to make money. But still they will continue because there is no choice. Of course, not all scientists are struggling. They already have a lot of patents, they can make a lot of money. Anyway, that is the material knowledge which will tell how to maybe live a better life here. Better or not, that's a different topic. But we come to the topic of that knowledge which is mentioned here. Better than, anyway we say even that knowledge is not enough, but this knowledge is the basis. Can you do that? This knowledge is the basis. But what knowledge? That knowledge which can help us to get free from so-called foolish, uneducated, crazy, dumb, rascalic. It's called rascal dumb. Do we want to know about this knowledge? No? Yes? No? The hand, more it raises up, then it shows more convinced are we. So, we are still not so sure, right? This is like an example that someone is falling from a roof and somehow he had what is it called, a pipe, and then luckily he held to this pipe and he is holding there, and then down he is very scared. If he leaves his hand he will fall, and the Lord is personally telling, hey, don't worry, I am down, I can take care of everything. Yeah? There are so many. You just go to scriptures. If you go to Bhagavatam, you see how I saved Prahlad. In Bhagavatam, you can see how I saved Dhruva Maharaj. You can see how I have saved Lord Shiva, how I have saved Lord Brahma. So many examples are there. Why are you scared? Just leave it. I am holding you down. No. You hold me first, then I will leave the road. After you give me guarantee that this knowledge will work, then only I want to take it. I repeat my question, who is interested to know this spiritual knowledge? Why? Because Krishna will protect us. Don't worry. By raising full hand, it doesn't mean that we have to give up everything. It doesn't mean that we have to stop working. It doesn't mean that we have to stop studying. It doesn't mean that we should stop breathing like yogis, they do. Yeah? No. You don't have to starve. You don't have to do fasting. You get only feasting. If we know this very basic understanding between these two knowledges, which is that which is most important, then our fortune turns for all good. Because then we come to this point that, okay, I now know who I am. Now tell me which science tells us who I am. Is it biology, physics, chemistry, mathematics, commerce, management? Which subject is telling us who I am? Come on, so many years of studies, so many years the universities are there, still we don't know who I am. The basic question about our own self we don't know. What knowledge are we getting?
We are part of God.
Yeah, which subject is telling that? Mathematics or physics or science? Philosophy. Philosophy is very vague, right? Psychology, philosophy, all these things are subjective.
Maybe psychology.
Psychology.
Mentally we can.
Psychology is like astrology. What?
But astrology also is a science.
Yes.
Our subject is praying Lord.
Praying Lord. When you say astrology is also science, we need a right perfect teacher who can teach that. Otherwise, it's like very, okay, this constellation, we don't know. Otherwise, if astrology is so perfect, available today, we would have guessed so many things, right? We would have avoided so many things. But anyway, that's again, please, another subject. Yes, please.
Spiritual knowledge.
Spiritual knowledge is the only knowledge that is giving us this understanding. Yeah, let's not discuss about who is God. Maybe that becomes a very religious topic. People are not interested in religion today. People only want advancement. What will I get now? How can I become rich? God, if someone is saying, hey, I'm a religious person, people will laugh. Are you mad? Only foolish people will go to religion. I mean, sorry, it's not my word. So many people.
No, it's right.
No, it's not right.
Like this.
Isn't it? It becomes a big burden to come out of from that covering. People think, as soon as we become devotional, people will think, are you crazy? I mean, all this mad, fool, everything. All whatever we said, this foolish, dumb and everything, they think a devotee is dumb, a devotee is fool, a devotee is crazy. Fortunately, devotees, some envious people call even devotees as rascals. Why? Because we do not have this knowledge. When we do not know who we are, whatever we are doing is useless. Sorry, that is the truth. And of course, that's why some of us, so many of others in the world are trying to know who I am. Where is the knowledge? When there is no knowledge, we are blind. Isn't it? Just imagine all the lights are off here, the door is closed, we are sitting inside. Some great personality will come and turn on the light and then we can see. And that great personality, at least in 21st century, is His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravindra, Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Did He create everything? No. He Himself always says that I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the Supreme Lord, not servant of some people who want to make more money, not servant of people who are not having any idea of what is life, not a servant of person who does not know or do not know who is He Himself. No. Srila Prabhupada is that great personality who has maintained the disciplic succession of bringing that knowledge of Krishna, what we are reading now in Bhagavad Gita, to us in 21st century. Can we really imagine? We know the world is created long back, so long, but the knowledge is still there. But because we are busy with material knowledge, we didn't take care of the spiritual knowledge, and then we are struggling. Can someone say that we have advanced a lot in this world without any side effects? Very silent. No. Unless we understand this principle that material knowledge is only for my comfort, but spiritual knowledge is main, we cannot. And that spiritual knowledge is brought in the form of Srila Prabhupada, translations, purports, commentaries of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. I'll try to get my book and pick. I'm not going to read all the books. I'll read only this small book. And let's see what is so important of these books. These are not ordinary books. Because we have seen so many books in our life. Somehow in our school days, I don't want to see this book, I want to finish this book complete. There are so much. But these books are not like that. These books, the more we read, the more we want to read. And the more we want to read, even more further we want to read. Why? Because first of all, it's not easy to understand. That's why we need to read again and again. Not only that, here is the key. Here is the key to our success. This book, Bhagavad Gita as it is our key to that door where we can achieve success. What is in this book? It is about yoga. Come on, yoga, come on. So many yoga books we have seen. Nowadays, if you just go to Google and type yoga, you will find a lot of books, you will find a lot of schools, you will find a lot of rubbish also. This is not that. This is yoga in its purest form for our ultimate blessing. So in this there is no propaganda, there is no false statements, because this is Krishna himself is telling. When the Lord himself is telling, and he is providing this such a wonderful manual or a guide. Bhagavad Gita is a wonderful guide. It is a constant, eternal companion guide. For any circumstance, for any condition, for any situation, it is said that if we turn to Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, then our life is successful. Why? Because we have that knowledge which is not there in the universities for which we were really looking. I again repeat this question. If we do not know the answer who I am, I think we are in a very, very bad shape. In spite of our success, whatever it can be, in many successful, whatever position we have achieved, all these things, if we do not know who we are, then we need to really take shelter of these books to really know who we are. If you are giving me something very valuable, but if I don't know who I am, what is the use? This book, this is my request. It contains some very inspirational quotations about this Vedic literature. And what Srila Prabhupada himself is saying, let's read few and spend few more minutes. I don't know how much I'll be allowed to speak. The greatness of book distribution, which will start also in December, we can all take part in it in different ways, is it first of all pleases Srila Prabhupada a lot. Why? It's not because Prabhupada will become very famous throughout the world. No, he is anyway recognized as the one of the top 10 most influential personalities in the world who had attained success after 70 years of age. So, he is already a world famous personality. He has established already 600 temples worldwide. In that way also, he is very famous. But he says, as soon as I see such increased books distribution figures, I take that to mean that all other programs are successful. We come to a very important point that Prabhupada is mentioning. There is no comparison, there is no literature throughout the universe like Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no comparison, there is no competition. Every word is for the good of the human society. Every word, each and every word. Therefore, we stress so much in the book distribution. Somehow or other, if the book goes to one's hand, he will be benefited. At least he will see, oh, I have taken so much price. Let me see what is there. If he reads one shloka, his life will be successful. If he reads one shloka, one word, this is such nice things. Therefore, we are stressing so much. Please distribute books, distribute books, distribute books. A greater mridanga. We are chanting, playing our mridanga. It is heard within this room or little more. But this mridanga will go home to home, country to country, community to community. This mridanga. Prabhupada is mentioning about this printing press machines. They make a lot of noise, right? When these papers are being printed. But Prabhupada never stopped it. Prabhupada said, wonderful, this is mridanga, transcendental mridanga. Let the book printing go on. Regarding Sankirtan and book distribution is also chanting. Anyone who reads the books, that is also chanting and hearing. Why distinguish between chanting and book distribution? These books I have recorded and chanted and they are transcribed. Again I read this. These books I have recorded and chanted. So if you have so much want to hear Prabhupada, Kirtan and all, Prabhupada is saying that whatever this book form, it is coming from my recordings. Srila Prabhupada used to hardly sleep, maybe 1-2 hours per day. And as soon as he gets time, he was recording on dictaphone our commentaries of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. These books I have recorded. So book distribution is also chanting. Now please don't say, let me reduce 16 rounds chanting and only do book distribution. These are not ordinary books, it is recorded chanting. Anyone who reads, he is hearing. Book distribution must not be neglected. If there is any credit to my activities of translating, it is due to His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Certainly, if His Divine Grace was personally present at this time, it would have been a great occasion for jubilation. But even though He is not physically present, I am confident that He is very much pleased by this work of translation. He was very fond of seeing many books published to spread the Krishna consciousness movement. Therefore, our society, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, has been formed to execute the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. These are a few. This book is really wonderful. Usually, this is for preachers. if we really want to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. Prabhupada is saying in a room conversation, preaching means book distribution. If we want to be successful preachers or preachers that Prabhupada pleases, then book distribution is very important. Our book distribution is the most important task in our society. Therefore, I am giving so much stress and I am working so hard on this because this is my life and soul according to the order of my Guru Maharaj. And by his grace, it is so much extent successful and I took it seriously. I take it seriously still now. That is my life and soul. So if we want to please our spiritual master and his spiritual master and his spiritual master, this is the means. I never tried in India to construct big temples, or even in your country we didn't. I never tried, but I was selling personally books. That is the history. And now I come to this very nice. I hope we all also take it nicely. I want that every respectable person has a full set of Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita in his home. Letter through Dridhavrata. And okay, something for Germans, being in Germany. Be assured there is no more direct way to preach than to distribute Krishna conscious books. Whoever gets a book is benefited. If he reads the book, he is benefited still more. Or if he gives the book to someone else for reading, both he and the other person is benefited. So it is about book distribution. If we say, hey, I have already Bhagavatam, I have already Chaitanya Charitamrita, if one can really gift, they can also gift. So that by giving, the person who is giving benefited and also the person who is reading benefited. If he simply gives small donation towards the work of Krishna consciousness, he is benefited. And anyone who distributes these transcendental literatures, he is also benefited. Therefore, Sankirtan is the prime benediction for the age. Letter to German disciples, 6 May 1977. But how can we distribute books in Germany?
We'll translate first.
Yes, that was what Prabhupada said. And then we take the books and publish them in French and German language. My Guru Maharaj liked the publication of books very nice. He liked publication of books more than construction of temples. Letter to Tamala Krishna, 15 May 1970. Our book distribution program is most important work. Anyone reading our Krishna book, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Nectar of Devotion and Bhagavad Gita as it is sure to become a Krishna conscious person. Therefore, somehow or other we must push this literature distribution program either through schools, colleges, libraries, life membership program or ordinary sales. I hope that you are not bored because these are not my words, these are Prabhupada's words. Let me know when to stop. What about 21st century of advertisements? These books are the best advertising. They are better than advertising. If we simply present Krishna consciousness in a serious and attractive way, without need to restore to fashionable slogans or tricks, that is sufficient. Our unique asset is our purity. Yes. These books and magazines are our most important propaganda weapons to defeat the ignorance of Maya army. And the more we produce such literature and sell them profusely all over the world, the more we shall deliver the world from the suicide course. So your work is the most important preaching work. May Krishna bless you more and more. Thank you for helping me in this way. Letter to Jayadvaita, 18 November 1972. Anyway, so this is just telling the importance of books. Huh?
What is the value of those books?
What is the value of
That's books.
this book? This is my request.
What is the
This is my request.
This is my
Oh,
request.
this is my
I hope we have this book here. This is my request. So this is a very nice way we can please Srila Prabhupada and please ourselves. Why? Because then we are reading these books and making our life happy. We all want to be happy, isn't it? Now I'm not speaking some gospel speeches about happiness. Who wants to be happy?
everybody.
Now the hand is even higher. 2 hands, 10 hands. If we want to be happy, it is in this book. It is in this book. May I also ask, who reads Bhagavad Gita? Not who read Bhagavad Gita, I am asking who reads Bhagavad Gita.
I see only YouTube.
You see 2 verses?
Is
On
but
Facebook?
I have book, but I have not time to read. And there is so many process to read. At first I read. That's I cannot find that situation.
Yeah.
I try.
Our good fortune turns when we start reading.
I have immediately I have done.
So this reading of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam has changed the lives of so many. That gives hope that I will also change. When so many have changed, so many people who were taking drugs, who were busy enjoying life in very, very important cities of the world like New York, Bombay,
Blackboard.
Hamburg, Cologne. So that gives me hope that by reading these books, I can also become successful. And this gives hope that world can become a better place to live. We all, right? We all want, what is this all, the world and everything. Yeah? If you really want one formula, one for a universal peace, what is that peace? It is mentioned here in this verse. Is it still on the board? No. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa jnana dhyanam vishishyate dhyanam karma paratyaga tyagas shanti anantaram. After this we get peace. Whatever the peace. Because when we have peace, then we have happiness. Without peace, there is no question of happiness. Isn't it? If we think we are happy, we are in illusion.
somebody is busy, so he can give another people to some advice for each.
Yes, correct. That's what is in the book. Prabhupada is giving this peace formula. I'll stop here. I mean, I can really go long and pay my a fractional amount of my gratitude towards the Lord, towards Srila Prabhupada. I am fortunate to come across Srila Prabhupada books, and it changed my life. Of course, now I don't want to have a photo that before and after this photo. Not like that. But indeed, when I can change, I am very sure that this is the best for the entire world. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, comments? Yeah.
You emphasized, I mean, Srila Prabhupada, via you emphasized a lot about book distribution. Could you give some tips how to do it? I mean, we have different people here, people who are brahmacharis or grihastha. Everyone has a different way of living. So how can we distribute books in different ashrams?
Yeah, you can get counseling from people who distribute books. So if someone really is inspired to distribute books, they can consult devotees here in the temple. They can guide how to distribute books, so that we don't want kind of individually just keep distributing. If one wants to distribute books, they can approach the people who have the books and understand how to do it, because it's not easy. Distributing books is very difficult, especially in this prime time of so much pleasure offered by so many books. We think that if you go into the street and say, "Can you please take this book?" they say, "No time. I have a date." Yes. So we need tips, as you were asking, how to get the tips. Few that I know and I try to apply is to read about the book. When we read about the book, then we can talk about the book. When we read the book, we change and we hope the others will change. So reading the books make us suitable that we can distribute the books. So reading is very important. Usually, if there is a book, very new book coming, and if someone says, "Hey, can you distribute the books?" It's always a good idea to see what is inside the book. Because if I give you this book, you say, "What is in this book?" Something if I tell, it won't work. So if you say, no, you see this, in this book, you see this is the secret. This changed. Then you can bring your examples of your life. And of course, as a beginner, if I don't have examples, you can say, so many have done it. You know what happened? A person who was ready to commit suicide, he just entered ISKCON Chennai, and this is a real story, I'm not telling a story now. A person who entered the temple, he decided to commit suicide because his life was hell. When he was going out, there was this book stall, and the book person was telling, "Hey, can you please?" He was not in a position to hear because, come on, what will he get if he has a book or not before dying? But then this person was sharing the value of the book. Slowly, it took 1 hour for him to understand. Then he took the book and he lived. Of course, not forever. He is still distributing books because he understood the value of a book. This is a real story. And there is another suicide case. The guy was ready. He tied a noose to the fan in India or in some places, it's very easy to hang. We don't have to go to a jail. There's a rope you can tie up, and then he was just putting, and the chair was ready. And someone knocked the door. Again, a real story. Yeah? It's not a fantasy just for a nice publicity. No. And that's it. He took the book and he started reading. Who knows Prahlad Bhakta Prabhu here? Not Prahlad Maharaj in Bhagavatam. This Prahlad Bhakta Prabhu is from Africa. How you know it? You know his past?
You know what?
You know his past?
Oh yeah, I know his past.
He used to drink so much. He used to drink so much that he doesn't know where he is going when he wants to go his home. Every day it was like that. Night he knows where he was, but morning he used to see himself in his home. His dear wife takes care of him very nicely. In spite of not everyone likes if husband, the spouse drinks so much that they don't care. Somehow in his wardrobe there is this Bhagavad Gita, because someone gave him. At that time he just kept it, and then he thinks, what a mistake I did. I should not drink. And after evening again he drinks, and this used to repeat. And then one fine day, somehow he was so feeling bad that I should stop. He was banging, and then somehow he came across Bhagavad Gita. And then he started reading chapter 1. Then his friends came and called, hey, let's go. Then he said, okay, no, I have some work, you go, I'll come. He finished the whole reading of Bhagavad Gita in one day.
I'm sorry, in one day he has read the whole Gita?
In one day he read whole Bhagavad Gita.
In one day he has read the whole. What's it in
Not like me. Even if I read, I don't understand. But he understood so much that he became a great devotee. He has changed so many lives because he himself was convinced. When he came across Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, just his book, sorry. Das kann gehen und gehen. Ja? Aber das ist die letzte Beispiel. Where is this guy who asked tips? He's gone?
He's gone to book distribute.
Okay. So anyway. So in that way there are so many examples. When we read these examples, then we have conviction that okay, even I can go and distribute books. Because usually I think I'm not a good businessman. I'm not a good salesman. They need a lot of skills. No. It needs only one thing, or actually two things. One is purity. Second thing is humbleness. If we are humble, whatever will come, if this Mataji will slap on my face, I don't want this book. What are you telling? Nonsense. That is one quality. And purity. The more pure we are, the more Krishna's mercy will flow through us, that we can really become qualified to distribute the books. For that we need to read books. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much. I'm really sorry. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Babar Boki.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.